my name is Tammy, and I am a self-proclaimed footballaholic and overall sports enthusiast. After exhausting every friend and family member I have talking about sports, they got together to tell me I should do my own sports show. I think it was their way of telling me I should just shut up and go away. Welcome to Fan the Flames, a sports show that highlights the fun of sports, not just the facts. Each week, Fan the Flame will talk about games and players that were on fire and others that didn't even spark our attention. We'll talk about sports reporters and their dumbest questions of the week. And because sports are no fun without friends, Fan the Flame will feature a beer and food pairing segment that will make your next tailgate or game day party a smoking success. All right, let's get on to the games we watched this week. We watched the New Orleans and Green Bay game, the first real game of the season. It was on Thursday night, and it was a great way to kick off the season. Like I said last week, Drew Brees did pretty good. He threw for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, but the Packers looked better, with Green Bay winning 42-34. I also said that if the Saints were going to win this game, it was going to have to be a successful ground game. But that was unlikely, and this is where Green Bay would win. Now, my husband Mark made the observation that Green Bay's DBs were playing to the camera this week, so the defensive line had to go into overdrive, and they were awesome. For me, the stars of that team were the defensive linemen B.J. Raji and Ryan Pickett. They held the Saints to only 81 rushing yards. That's so impressive. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, just as exciting as I hoped it to be. Well, at least you could say that if you were not a Steelers fan. 35-7, Baltimore Ravens winning, with Ray Rice being the star of the show, and the defense making sure Big Ben had a bad day at the office. I don't think this is indicative of Steelers ball. They will be back to play a better game. However, I do think this is definitely what to expect for the season from the Ravens. Atlanta and Chicago. Remember when I said Jay Cutler could win with the offensive artillery that he has? Well, I was right. Matt Ryan outperformed Jay Cutler Sunday, but Matt Forte was the top receiver of the game with 90 yards for the Chicago Bears. Brian Urlacher even scored a defensive touchdown. He was on fire this Sunday. His total defensive yards were -1. That's awesome. Seattle at San Francisco. San Francisco took this game over Seattle 33-17. The highlight of the game was again running back a set of kick returns. Coach Harbaugh said he was a last-minute decision. Good call, Coach. After looking at all the data for the game, I see Tavares Jackson was the top quarterback of the game, but the Seahawks still lost. I guess that means Alex Smith still needs to show the fans if he's worth all the drama and a first-round draft pick back in 2005. And by the way, Coach Harbaugh, congratulations on the win. New York Jets at Dallas. Well, like I said last week, this will be a great ending to the day. Yeah, if you were a Jets fan. It just seemed like Groundhog's Day for the Cowboys when watching Romo have a flawless 3 quarters, and when he's under pressure, coughing up the ball 2 times in the 4th quarter to seal their doom. Jets win 27-24. Mark Sanchez and the Jets didn't look horrible, but they definitely need to get it together. Cromartie was MIA on the field. However, Plaxico Burress, he did look rehabilitated and motivated to win. All right, let's go to games to watch this week. Okay, this is 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. We've got Arizona at Washington, D.C. Arizona has an amazing offense with Larry Fitzgerald, Todd Heath, Beanie Wells. They're ready, willing, and able. But my pick here goes to Mike Shanahan and the Redskins. Rex Grossman was looking good Sunday with great games for Santana Moss and Hightower. But the real story here is the Redskins' defense. They're capable of holding off Fitzgerald, Wells, and Heat from scoring. My next pick for time to spend on the couch watching football is Chicago at New Orleans. You all know how much faith I have in Cutler to get the job done, so it must not be a big surprise that I picked New Orleans. Saints did not have a great game last week, but they should be successful because the Bear defense will not be the same without Brian Urlacher. Because of his mom's passing this week, he will probably not join the team on Sunday. So without Brian Urlacher, Brees will be tossing the ball without pressure in the pocket. All right, Jacksonville and New York Jets. I love the Jets. Coach Rex Ryan is from the old school smash mouth kind of football. You either get the job done or he'll get it done for you. However, there are a couple teams laying low in the NFL right now, and one of them is Coach Jack Del Rio's Jacksonville Jaguars. While you have Mark Sanchez and all of his offensive targets, the one factor that seems to be not in Sanchez's favor is the Jaguars' defense. Mark doesn't do well having to scramble. I still pick the Jets, but this one is one of those games worth getting up early for. Philadelphia at Atlanta. This game is obvious. It's Michael Vick versus the world. Atlanta was the team he was fired from, and Andy Reid of the Eagles picked him up to ultimately replace Donovan McNabb. On paper, the Eagles look strong, but the biggest weakness is in their biggest asset, and that's quarterback Michael Vick. If he cannot execute pre-snap reads, Atlanta, as well as every other defense, will exploit the weakness, and Vick will either get injured or just worn out from scrambling too much. Now on to my favorite, top picks of the week for sports reporters' dumbest questions. There was only one this week, and my number one pick is Brian Baldinger from SportsCenter. This is Brian Baldinger's question to Coach Fox after the Denver Bronco game. Coach Fox, what do you think when you hear the fans shouting Tebow, Tebow during Sunday's game? What do you think he thought? I'll give you a couple ideas. Maybe the first thought through his head was, poor Jake, I bet that hurt his feelings. Or, well, they wouldn't shout if I had a better quarterback. All right, moving on to hot deals on jerseys and fan gear. Old Navy has NFL licensed short sleeve and long sleeve men's and women's t-shirts from $17 to $26, and they also carry some college teams, some really good deals. All right, hot deals on where to watch the games. Still have not heard of any economically friendly places to watch those NFL games. If you work at a place that shows the games, please comment on our Facebook fan page. Fan the Flame Sports, and let us know. If you want to invite me, I'll be happy to give your place a review on my next webcast. All right, tailgate parties and game day get-togethers. We're going to share one of my kids' favorite all-time beers, all 9 of my children, Alyssa, Casey, Sergio, Ben, Cameron, Katie, Jessica, Jake, and Julio. Karl Strauss Signature Red Trolley. Irish Red Ale, medium body, that is the perfect pairing for hot wings. You can get this at Total Wine, Bevmo, or some of the better grocery stores. Fantastic. If you take us up on this pairing, please post pictures and comments on our Facebook page and tell us how you liked it. Next week, we're going to share our man cave. You got to see it to believe it. Other sports to watch. Next week, Fan the Flame will take a look at the Major League Baseball playoff story. There was just too much football this week, and we're all scrambling to adjust our fantasy picks. We had a lot of ground to cover. Now on to my second favorite segment. It's called Everything Brett. This one's for you, Rodney. In 1995, 96, and 97, Brett Favre won the Associated Press Most Valuable Player. That's 3 times in consecutive years. Impressive. Thank you for viewing another webcast of Fan the Flame Sports. Our next webcast will be Wednesday, September 21st. Please share our Facebook page with all your sports friends and family.